Good day, all, and welcome to another edition of Local Legislator Live at 11. I am your host, Charles Gates. We are a component of locallegislator.net, where our mission is to be the premier source of local election information in the United States and an advocate for the sustainability of local businesses nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a treat today. We have none other than the Honorable Bobby Dyer, the Virginia Beach, Virginia Mayor. Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you and Semper Fi, and hello to everybody that's going to be watching this.
Hoorah, hoorah. Let's get right to it. Now, sir, what led you to run for an elected office and how long have you served as mayor?
Well, let's put it this way. You can either talk about change or you can be a change agent. And by running and being fortunate enough to be elected, I am indeed blessed. I ran in 2004 and I've been a councilman since 2000 to 2018. Our previous mayor stepped down and I took up the challenge. And, through the grace of the Lord and the will of the people, I was able to get elected. But the reason I ran was to make positive change. And the thing is, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I became a physical therapist, went to visit a friend that was wounded in Vietnam, and I wanted to do something medical. So I've been helping people since 1976. And I think I bring a lot of those healthcare skills to the table. And it's about people. It's not working in a city, it's about working with individuals and caring about individuals and families and just trying to make life better for everybody.
And speaking of relationships and connections with people, can you describe what your role is as mayor and your relationship to the city council?
Oh, sure. We have 11 city council members. We have 7 districts and 4 at-large representatives, and the mayor is one of those. It's team building. We have a very eclectic council right now. I have 6 people with 16 plus years, and I have 5 in their first term. And we're diverse, and I'm proud to say we have 2 African Americans on now. We have people that have been, on council for a while, and we have a couple millennials, everybody brings gifts to the table. And the idea is to have us all focus on one mission, and that's to be the best possible city in this nation. And in spite of all the turmoil that's going on the national scene, I think with the leadership we have with our council and unified in focus and with a great management team, and it's also the people of city of Virginia Beach, we have the opportunity to be the template for the rest of the country on how we can come together with the people. And we have one of the premier police departments in the country. They're a gold standard certification. They're community oriented, and we're seeking to always improve. And the other thing is too, we got a faith-based community here in Virginia Beach with many faiths. And I consider that a plus. It's the glue that holds us together.
Now, does the mayor of Virginia Beach have veto power, and why or why not?
No, we are a council manager form of government. According to charter, I'm the guy with the gavel. I set the agenda, run the meetings, but we have equally weighted voting. And, I can't even make a motion. Somebody else has got to do that. Sometimes I'm the tiebreaker. But it's a lot of it, quite frankly, is ceremonial. It's being out in the public, and I take a lot of pride in cutting ribbons at the big organizations, but I sure like doing the mom and pops. And I always say I enjoy the Asian nail and gourmet cupcake places. I want to be out for anybody that wants to do business in our city of Virginia Beach. They know they have a mayor. I want to be the people's mayor.
The people's mayor. Now, what is the mayor's responsibility during an emergency? For example, the recovery efforts after the May tragedy last year.
Well, that was a tough one emotionally, and I tell you what, it rocked everybody's foundation, especially mine. After I got over the initial shock, I had to be out there with the chief of police, and our Vice Mayor Wood was out there. Just letting people to know that we are Virginia Beach. We are resilient. We're going to get through this together. to come out with a positive message, to engage people, encourage people to help their neighbors, and give them assurances that, in spite of that, Virginia Beach is still today considered the safest city of a city our size in this great nation. And we're not going to be deterred by one senseless act of violence. We will not be defined by that. And we're trying to rebound, but be assured we will never forget. We will continue to embrace the victims, families, and the survivors. And don't forget, there were over 300 people in the building at the time that witnessed that are going to require our care and consideration going forward. But the way that we reacted as a community, the way our neighbors, the Commonwealth, this great nation, and quite frankly, people from around the world responded. It was a great testament to our society and our willingness. And I played a small part, but it was an important part because, I just wanted to make sure that people know, yeah, there's a steady hand on the tiller.
Well, you know what, Mr. Mayor, it's ironic. I was in that building a few days before that happened.
Oh, wow.
Like most of the nation, I could not believe I was there attending a meeting, believe it or not. And when I heard that, my heart sunk like most of the nation and the world, for that matter. Now, what is the mayor's relationship with the city manager and other city departments?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a collaborative effort. We do have a council manager form of government, and we just recently hired a new city manager. And I'm proud to say, he was the cream of the crop. He's the first African American city manager that we've had. He's from Jamaica, and he served in the Army for 9 years, and he's the former city manager of Cincinnati. He brings plethora, a plethora of experience with him, and he's been on board for a month now. But I'll tell you what, he's already making an impact. He's in his late 30s, and this is just going to be inspirational for the youth. And then we have a magnificent staff. All the city council, believe it or not, we're part-timers. And the people, everybody that works in our budgeting department, public works, public utilities, the libraries. We have numerous parks and recreation. We're proud of the people that, with waste management, every employee, all 7,500 of them, really help make the largest city population-wise in the Commonwealth. We have 453,000 people. And, we got to make sure that, the streets are clean, it's safe, and our public safety, our schools are regarded as some of the toughest and the best in the nation. And we couldn't be prouder. We're a great city, and we're looking forward to taking it to the next level and make it greater.
Make it greater indeed. Now, what is the mayor's, you notice there's a trend here. I'm asking a lot of relationship questions because we think our listeners don't really understand the connections there sometimes. Now, what is the mayor's relationship with the 5 elected constitutional officers, the Commonwealth Attorney, the Commissioner of the Revenue, the Clerk of the Court, Sheriff, and Treasurer? What's your relationship with those people?
Oh, it's been excellent. We are a team. Obviously the Clerk of the Court, runs the legal system part of our public safety as the sheriff. The sheriff and I get along tremendously. We count on the treasurer and the commissioner of revenue, to help bring in the money that we need, the lifeblood of making sure that all the services are paid for. And it's important that, we work together not only with the constitutional officers, but, with our delegation in Richmond. And, like even through whether it be the shooting tragedy or the COVID or the civil unrest that, the nation's going through together, that we work with our federal, state, and local partners, because that's the only way we can survive, through this. And if you got those positive relations, it just makes things a lot easier.
Agreed indeed. Now, for our viewers out there, the mayor just mentioned the Clerk of the Court. The Virginia Beach Clerk of the Court, Tina Sinnen, will be our guest this next week, next Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. sharp. We'll be live on Facebook. Learn all about the clerk of the courts and what that office does, because most people out here have no clue what the clerk of the courts do. So she's going to share information and enlighten all of us. And to our viewers out there, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page. And remember to leave us a comment telling us who or what you would like to hear from next. And tag us in some of your posts as well. Mr. Mayor, even though COVID-19 is still looming, what has been your office's approach to it?
The approach is we can get through it together. And that's the whole thing. And it really instill into people the personal responsibility they need to do their part. Wear a mask, wash your hands frequently, social distance, clean surfaces, protect yourself and protect others. But the other thing is that it's important that we have what I call collateral damage caused by this situation. Increases in depression in people, increased suicides, increased alcohol, drug abuse, domestic abuse. These are things that all affect society. Men and women were not designed to be confined in the homes, but we had to do that. So what we're trying to do here as a tourist city is to provide those safe environments where folks like yourself from Williamsburg, hey, let's take a ride down to Virginia Beach, walk on the boardwalk, walk on the sand, get some exercise, sit outside at one of our restaurants and try to get back to normal as possible. The primary thing, protect individual safety and health, but also respond in such a way that, let me put it this way, we're also driven by economics, that, we want to help out the hotels and the restaurant industries and all the other shops and things, but we have to make sure that we do it safely. So, we got to try to, do that win-win situation. And, I've had the pleasure of working intimately with the governor to get the beaches open and to do certain things. Once again, that's the collaboration between local and state government. Any mayor that thinks that they can do things by him or herself is delusional. You have to count on a wonderful staff, your fellow council people, the other elected officials on the state and federal government. You cannot be an island unto yourself and be effective as a mayor.
Is it indeed a team sport? A team sport indeed. Now, Mr. Mayor, what do you like? What do you like or dislike most about your job as mayor?
What I would like about it is when you accomplish something, when you think that you make a difference, and what you care about people. As a physical therapist, I've been a home care physical therapist for 4.5 decades now. You can tell by the gray hair here. And I've been literally, while I was working on my doctorate in the 90s at Regent University, and then even now as mayor doing home care physical therapy, I've been in thousands of homes in Virginia Beach and more thousands of homes in Norfolk and Suffolk and Chesapeake and all over. It's about people. It's about individuals. It's about the people that I want to think that that people think I'm approachable, that they can come to me. I'm proud to say that in 2019, before the COVID hit, I was, my office documented that I did in excess of 761 people contacts. And, it's the ribbon cuttings, it's going to a woman's 107th birthday. It's welcoming people to a convention. It's talking with business leaders and just people that, live in the street or that approach you in a supermarket and, feel that they can tell you what's going on. That's what I really enjoy. The tough part is, is when you have those challenges that arise. But, us Marines, us jarheads, you remember the first time we took a look at the Confidence Force at Paris Island? Okay.
Exactly.
And you say, my goodness, how could I possibly get through that? But something? Yeah, find a way. And, it's not only having the challenges, but it's overcoming them and getting the right people to help you and everything. So there's no real downside for me. But I'll tell you what, there's some days I wish I could have done better. Every time I vote, I make somebody mad. But let me say, overall, it's been a very fulfilling and yeah, I am just honored and humbled to be the mayor of this great city.
Indeed. Now, last question for you, Mayor, is how can people learn more about the mayor's office and about you? Where can they go to find that information?
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a great city website. It'll tell you all about our form of government. And I got a website, Bobby Dyer for Mayor. But the other thing is too, don't be afraid to Google me. Don't be afraid to go to YouTube and say Bobby Dyer, Virginia Beach, and take a look at the my state of the cities. And the one thing I am really determined about now, yeah, let me put it this way: I've had the privilege, and you were talking about small business and the necessary of it. For 14 years as a councilman, I was the liaison to the Minority Business Council and the Human Rights Commission. I was also instrumental recently in getting the Virginia Business Commission up and running, which is the same model on a state level. If you hear my state of the city addresses, you're going to hear about Virginia becoming the city of yes, the city of inclusion, diversity, a level playing field that is welcoming to everybody. And this is what we're trying to do, and this is how we want to be defined as a city. And but go ahead, check me out.
Great. Well, I will definitely be looking at that state of the city and more from you on Google and on YouTube, and I'm sure all the other social media platforms you can find you and your take on the city and its views. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, very much for being with us. And you mentioned mental health not too long ago, and for our listeners out there, our guest on Monday is none other than the mental health advocate, speaker, and writer Ann Morse Rogers, who knows oh so well about suicide, and she'll be sharing her story and how it can relate to you. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. And I've got to reach for this before we sign off. We shared these earlier before. Simplify. And for those who don't know out there, the mayor and I have a few things in common. We're both Jersey boys. We both were born in hospitals not too far from each other and graduated the same high school. What a small world this is,
I'll
indeed.
tell you what, that's the amazing thing in my job. And don't forget, you got the lunch invitation. I want you to come to Virginia Beach, and I want all your listeners to come to Virginia Beach, try our restaurants, try our beach, try our hotels. Yeah, it'll be great. I tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, sir, so much. And to our listeners out there, remember, as we sign off, we're not global, we're local. Take care of yourself. Until Monday. Bye.